All right. Yeah. So let's get going. So last time around we discussed how to implement a, a database that we could integrate with our Node.js server, right? And so we went and created a MongoDB instance, right, that we can run in the background, right, that I have here. Right, so here's a MongoDB running. Right, we had started from the command line, and now it's just a server listening for incoming requests, and then we can connect to it using a visual tool such as Mongo Kanbas, right? And if we connect there, we can take a look at the data that we inserted in our last lecture. We inserted courses, right? I provided you with the JSON files for that, right? We saw that we inserted some modules in there, but we spend most of our time playing around with users, right? We imported some data from a JSON file, and these were inserted as objects, right, inside of a collection called users. Then we took a look at how is it that we can integrate with the database, right? And so to do that, we created, let's see, we created first a schema, right, that describes all the properties of all the users, including username, password, first name, roles, and whatnot, right? From that schema, we built a model, right? And the model, as we mentioned, is a class, or is an instance that encapsulates or implements some low-level operations, right, with the database, right, such as being able to find, retrieve, insert, update, delete, and whatnot, right? So based on this model, right, we built a DAO, a data access object, that takes the low-level model, right, and it creates several higher level functions, right? That they're kind of like wrappers around the low-level API. This is an API that we own. We know how to parameterize, right? And it's written specifically for our domain, whereas the APIs that are inside of the Mongoose model, they are by design, they are very low level, they're very generic, right? They're not specific to any one project, right? So for instance, this one's very generic, find by ID. But we know that what you're actually finding are users and their primary because of the primary key. So we wrapped the the low level find by ID. We wrapped it with this higher level function. And so once we have that, we made all those operations of CRUDing users, meaning creating users, updating users, deleting users, retrieving users, right? We exposed all those operations to a web API that allows us to interact with this data model using these URLs, right? You can hit the URL to create new users, right? To retrieve all the users, to retrieve a specific user by their primary key, update a user, delete a user, and so on and so forth.